Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Reality Hour. I am Adam Samuel. Today, another double header. A lot of TV we're talking about these past 2 weeks. Yeah, so we are doing week 5. I know it's not a week, but I call it like a week.
It's
week 5 and 6. So we're going to be doing a double header here. But joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host Grace. How are you doing today, Grace?
I'm doing well. This has been a busy week. I've had parent-teacher conferences all week. And I'm also finishing up my grad class. So it's a busy week that ends in some freedom because after this, I'm actually going to be taking some time away from school to focus on other things.
Vacation?
No, and save money.
Grad school. We are here, like I said, another week of Dancing with the Stars. Correct me if I'm wrong. This was a pretty awful week for my team.
Yeah, but it wasn't your fault. I mean, I understand you. I mean, this kind of leads us into the big headline of the entire week.
All right, take it away.
Selma Blair has withdrawn from the competition. Her health is deteriorating. And I know I got a lot of I got a lot of tweets criticizing my discussion of Selma. I'll say this, though. It's always sad when somebody drops out of the competition. Usually I think other than Sarah Evans, it's always due to either injury or illness. In this case, it was a little bit of both. She mentioned she had some minor injuries, but if they accumulate, especially with her having MS, they could have disastrous consequences. And that is not something we want.
What a bummer, because I think she could have made the finale. I would even dare to say she potentially could win. I think she was one of the most popular contestants still remaining in the competition. I don't think she would have, but I think it's a non-zero chance. I think there is some potential.
I don't think she would have won. But it's like I said, always sad when people drop out. We've been seeing it since season 3. One thing I will say is her last dance. She did get to do her last dance. Because they've been kind of, they did get to do their last dance. She talked about her MS story. I kind of like how positive she was about it, how relieved she was to get the diagnosis, because then there's finally some answers. Her dance was nice. I'm glad they let her do it. I think the perfect score was more symbolic than anything else. Plus, it doesn't count anyway.
Was it a worthy perfect score, do you think?
I don't want to say no, but I don't think it was. But I mean, other people pointed this out. Before she did the show, she was very last minute. She was pretty much on bed rest. So I feel like going from bed rest to dancing 6 hours a day might not be the best decision for a human body, because we can only take so much. And also, her prom night dance would have been to I Will Survive. It is the right decision, but it's still sad. And a lot of people were upset about it.
It was nice to have her on the show while she was here. I enjoyed, getting to watch her. I did just want to ask, though, did they know she was going to drop? Is that why this week was a double header?
No, this week was planned to be a double 2-show week, long before the season even started. But I mean, she announced in her rehearsal package that she couldn't do the show anymore. But normally when the contestants withdraw, thing is, I'm surprised it stayed under wraps this long, because usually when a contestant drops out, it's announced before the show even starts. But usually they also don't dance. So there's that too. I mean, obviously the producers had to know, and the other contestants probably also knew. Just surprised it stayed under wraps, but ultimately these contestants need to take care of themselves, and that's really what this boiled down to.
Well, we move forward with 11 contestants, 5 for Grace, 4 for me, 1 for Eric. Which one? What?
That's 10. But we'll talk about that later.
Wait, so who am I missing?
Well, one of your contestants got eliminated, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Well, let's talk about the eliminations as a whole. I guess why not? Like,
Yeah.
it's the big news kind of coming out. It's probably what
Yeah,
most
this
people
is
are.
the more, for many people, this is the more upsetting of the two. We ended up losing. Adam, who did we lose? Your team.
Yeah, we lose some of the first week,
Mhm.
who dropped out, and then the second week we lose Joseph in a bottom two versus Heidi. Let me ignoring everything else of the bottom two. Do you think the right decision was made?
I do, and I knew the judges were going to save Joseph because they've really been loving Heidi. A lot of people were shocked and upset about this elimination for several reasons. It wasn't so much directed at Heidi. Some people were like, "Well, Joseph has improved more than Heidi." This is not a most improved competition. This is a who's the best competition.
And Heidi's like, if you probably, I don't have the exact numbers. I'm sure her numbers are cumulatively higher than his. Like,
Yes, they are.
and I will tell you, here's a spoiler alert for the rest of the show. They're not going to eliminate Heidi unless the bottom two is her and Charlie.
That's never going to
Not
happen.
going to happen. I'm
It's
telling you, it's going to at some point. It is what the producers were hoping for when they cast them. They are going to somehow be the bottom two through whatever shenanigans.
maybe I can maybe see it the week before the finale when everybody left is good, but I don't see Charlie hitting the bottom two anytime soon.
Come on. Do they actually? Is it really the bottom two? As long as the person who got the lowest votes goes home.
I mean, it should be because these shows are supposed to have integrity.
I'm just saying. Look, just my theory. Heidi is not going home until she's in the bottom two with Charlie. They come on. It's the American Idol spot, you know.
Perhaps, but no, the complaints that I was seeing, really, a lot of them had nothing to do with Heidi. A lot of them were saying, like, they only had Jessie win the dance off, so they would keep her out of the bottom two. Some people were saying, like, neither one of these two should have been in the bottom two, which I don't entirely hate. Also, there were a lot of Daniela fans in full mourning because, like, this is only her third season on the show. The other two, she made the finale, and they're like, we're not going to get a Daniela freestyle. Let me tell y'all something, people. Most of these pros are not in it for themselves. Now, okay, Derek was, Max definitely was. Mark might be a little bit, but, like,
Mark's
Daniela
the
doesn't
man.
care if she doesn't win again.
Mark's my favorite pro on the show.
Well, I mean, Max also had I was reminded via TikTok that Max had the gall to say on the show one time that this is his show. But yeah, I mean, Jessie surviving the week, I was a little surprised by that. Like, I think the first time that she's in the bottom two, unless she's there with Trevor or Vinny, she's gone.
These three are like the next three to go, right? Or they should be.
They should be. But who the frick knows with the show anymore? I mean, Trevor's already been in the bottom two. Vinny's been the lowest score 3 out of 5 weeks. And Jessie is easily the weakest of the girls left. But even though she was the prom queen,
that saved her. I mean, look.
Yeah. I mean, those 11 extra points really helped her.
I got to be honest, though. That entire round made no sense. Like, it was... Because the judges can't see everyone. Like, they probably were... You can't look at all these people at once. There's 22 people on the stage. Like,
the way they used to do it was they would split them in half, but there's 11 couples, so that doesn't work. But also, yeah, the whole thing was a chaotic mess. But
yeah, like, how did Jessie even win? Like, it just...
I mean, admittedly, I wasn't watching it very closely myself. But hey, there were 4 pairs of eyes that were supposed to be watching more closely than I was. And they get paid the big bucks and we don't. We sit here on YouTube and complain.
We don't always complain, Grace.
No, but we go on tangents. Thank you, Matthew.
Well, let's I guess we should really focus on the prom night because that was the big one. That's the one people are going to remember. But from the most memorable, do you have any like moments you just want to discuss? Anything that really stuck out to you then? And then we'll focus, like I said, mostly on prom this episode.
Most memorable year night, they haven't done it since the season we dare not mention. I'm pretty sure was the last time we saw it. Usually it's reserved for like weepy stories about losing, family members or whatever. other than Selma, we didn't really have any of that this week, and I was kind of happy about it. Like, I was happy it wasn't so weepy as it usually is. And we did get a lot of good dancing out of it. We also had some misfires.
Something really didn't make sense to me about it, and this was just like a personal gripe. So when the theme is personal, like, or most memorable year, I kind of expected the song to be from that year, and it wasn't in most cases. Or
that's usually how it is.
But that makes no sense, because you would think, like, if it's, from that year. I don't think any of them were from the same year. It just...
The producers of this show make no sense. But also, this is like, the couples get like no creative artistic freedom on the show anymore. They don't pick the routines. They don't pick the music. So them getting to pick the music, I'll actually take it for once.
All right. Well, let's get into the deep dive. So I guess, like I said, we'll focus. It'll be mainly a prom night highlight.
Yeah, I have notes for both dances, but it's fine.
Otherwise, it's 4 hours of television with no commercials.
But my notes are in the order of Stars Memories Night, so I might be shuffling, but I've got this.
All right, well, let's start with Daniel and Britt to Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake. What'd you think here?
First, I do have to talk about his contemporary. I loved his contemporary this week. To Both Sides Now, which I've never actually seen Coda, but I loved how Britt included ASL. It was probably it was not my favorite from them. Sexy Back, he was good. I hate this song, first of all. But I mean, doesn't everybody?
There was the Both Sides Now. That was the in the trailer for Toy Story 4. That's when I first heard this song.
I love that song. But anyway, the feet do need some work. The judges keep harping on his feet. But, I mean, he was in the middle of the pack this week. He was the first one out in the dance-off. So I don't think the judges really want him to win. I don't know if they're, like, trying to bust him or what.
Yeah, I don't see him. Like those three people we pointed out, I think once they're gone, like, the next three would probably be, like, Daniel, Jordan, Heidi. Like, that's...
Yeah. And then the final four is going to be then the final four left would be Charlie, Gabby, Wayne, and Shangela.
Yeah,
that's final three.
That's
I need to see Coda.
How I would predict. But
is this one of those, if I lose the draft, I have to watch it? Because that's supposed to be a punishment.
I thought we already agreed on the punishment. We talked about it in
I know we never did.
Whatever. But yeah, Daniel is like I said, the circle is slowly shrinking, and every week when you it's... All right, let's talk about Heidi and Artem. I'm telling you, she's got plot armor until it's her and Charlie in the bottom.
But I mean, I was a little surprised her story didn't have anything to do with Charlie. It was all about her going to be a model, although she did meet her husband. I liked her rumba the first night. Although Derek's advice that she wants more emotion, Charlie needs that same advice. Because Charlie is not going to win this show. Well, actually, I could just leave it there. She's not going to win this show. But especially if she doesn't start showing emotion in her performances. There's no way she's going to win.
Heidi isn't going to win, you say?
I meant Charlie, but Heidi's not going to win either.
Charlie's going to win.
No, she's not.
Why not?
She can't. Anyway.
Why can't Charlie win?
All right. Let's talk about anything else. First of all, also, how is she 50? She looks younger than me.
She's really good at dancing.
I'm talking about Heidi.
Yeah, she's also really good at dancing.
The jazz, this was a pure novelty number. Using her dances to get snacks. See, every week Adam complains about commercial breaks, and now he can just go during Heidi's dances to get snacks.
We need commercials, I'm telling you.
No, go when the judges are talking. Or go when Alfonso's calling Shangela Angela for the 500th time.
Very similar.
He's getting to be as bad as Tyra with all that. Anyway, don't. Alfonso, if you're watching this, which we know you're not, I love you. But no, I didn't think the number was well choreographed. Like, I mean, that's not Heidi's fault. She did it well. But at that point, I was kind of thinking, okay, she's not winning. And clearly she's not, because she was in the bottom two this week.
Wow, Matthew. Harsh.
Hey, someone has to be.
Well, Heidi's not winning, but
No.
she, like I said, the next three is she's in the next three after.
Yeah,
with
if
Danielle
she
and
ever,
Jordan.
if the second time she's in the bottom two, she's there with Vinny, Jesse, or Trevor, they're gonna send them home. But if she's there with anyone else, like if it's her and Daniel, they're gonna send her home. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna put this out there, Grace. You'd hold me to it. She will not go home until she's in the bottom two with Charlie.
I don't think Charlie's ever gonna be in the bottom two.
But she won't win, you say.
Although I don't know, JoJo was, so maybe she will be. Maybe she'll get Sabrina'd. A lot of people are fearing that because next week is week 6, and that's usually when it happens.
When's Halloween week? Is that next week?
No, it's the week after that. Next week is sleepover / Michael Bublé night.
Wait, it's in Halloween week is in 2 weeks?
Yeah, this coming Monday is Michael Bublé night, and then Halloween night is Halloween night, October 31st, appropriately.
Fun story. I'm going to be an absolute mess that day because I'm getting my wisdom teeth out a few days
About
before.
time.
About time?
You're in your late 20s and you're just
You got yours out?
I got mine out when I was in college, which is also late. Yes, Adam has Gabby.
Yeah.
The only one on my team with a shot at winning at this point is Wayne.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the person on your team who definitely can't win, or hopefully won't.
Vinny and Coco doing You and Me by Lifehouse.
How was he a nerd? I find it hard to believe he was a nerd.
This song takes me so back. Like, I love this song. Just memories. Oh boy. What did you think?
The jazz, it was what it was. The Viennese Waltz I thought was rough. I mean, Vinny is never good when he has to show refinement. His technique was sloppy. I didn't really see a couple. I don't know how he hasn't been in the bottom two yet. Like, is Jersey Shore becoming like the third crazy fan base along with the Gen Zers and the Bachelorettes? Because if so, then although I don't know if it will, because the other Jersey Shore contestants, like, okay, the situation was crap. He didn't last very long. Snooki was good, but she didn't make it very far. So who knows? That was Sasha's first season.
Yeah, he's got 1 or 2 more weeks left in this tank at this point, right?
The first week he's in the bottom. Like, if he's in the bottom two any week from this point on, he's gone. The judges are not going to keep him.
But will they keep Shangela and Gleb?
Yes.
First song was Waiting. Well, the prom night song was Waiting for Tonight by J-Lo.
And she's a better lip syncer than J-Lo, which is sad.
What did you think?
First off, that contemporary, the Foxtrot, I'm sorry, I thought was rough. I was actually like, at that point, I was thinking, like, do I need to take Shangela off my odds of winning scale? Not that she ever was there. The prom night dance was much better. I thought the solo was a little bit long, but she slayed it. At some point, though, like, the judges keep harping on her technique. At some point, her performance skills are not going to be able to overshadow her poor technique if it doesn't improve.
Yeah.
I fear for her. I mean, I never thought she could win, if for no other reason that I still don't see a lot of the people that voted for Sean Spicer voting for a drag queen.
I don't see her winning. I think she's.
I don't either, but I think she should make the finale.
I could see her being a shocker boot, honestly, at some point.
I can see her, like, maybe, like, being in the bottom two with an obvious elimination and surviving. But I don't know. Like, if she's there with, like, Charlie or Wayne or Gabby, they're sending her home 100%.
We'll see. But let's talk about Charlie. I want to hear your thoughts. What's going on? Why am I hearing anti-Charlie sentiment?
Well, here's the thing with Charlie. Her fans are not nice to people.
Because they're kids, Grace.
And then also there's kind of a fan war between her fans and Gabby's fans, which I know Bachelor Nation and Gen Z tend to be the very passionate fan bases on these shows. The Bachelor Nation fans actually vote. The Gen Z fans are just loud and complain a lot. And y'all can hate tweet me all you want because you know it's true. The contemporary, I loved the concept of it, where like, you know, she was Charlie, Mark was anxiety. I don't know if I've ever used this expression on our American Idol podcasts. She is starting to catch what I like to call Melinda Doolittle syndrome, where she's so good every week it gets boring, and she hasn't really had a breakout moment.
She still will. She is lucky. She has a lot of time to do that. Like,
yeah, I am worried, like with Gabby and Wayne getting perfect scores this week, that hopefully they didn't peak too early. But it's hard to say. I mean, Alfonso's peak was week 4 and he still won. The Jive, You Make My Dreams Come True. Her prom was this year, and that song is older than Charlie and Mark combined. So
I love that song.
No, it's a fun song. It was good. I liked her Monday Night Dance better. But she's still riding top of the pack. So I don't know. Maybe Mark needs to go back to his bag of tricks from season 8 when he won last time. Because Sean was not the best every week.
What is this? No. It is.
She's gonna be in the finale for sure. But I'm still not.
She's probably gonna win.
The main reason I don't think she can win is because like we've had several contestants in like the Gen Z appeal category with prior dance experience. Zendaya didn't win. JoJo didn't win.
JoJo was second place.
So was Zendaya. Although Zendaya had to go against a partner with Derek. So and the main reason Kelly won is because her freestyle was amazing. And she's Kelly Pickler. We love her. Yeah. I agree, Matthew. I agree 100%. Gabby has a better chance of winning. Bachelor Nation is a much stronger fan base, voting-wise.
Well, let's talk about Jesse and Alan. Cannon fodder, right?
I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. That song is a guaranteed ticket home.
Well, I guess it wasn't.
Well, usually it is. No, the Foxtrot I thought was rough, honestly. But or was it a tango? I don't know. But the blue jeans dance. I wrote Foxtrot in my notes, but then I put tango somewhere else. Oh, it was a tango. Okay. I can't read my own notes. I thought it was rough. Breakaway was better. I think she's improving, but so is everybody else. And regardless, she and Alan are the prom king and queen, and people are freaking the frick out over it.
I think of the 3 most likely to go, it should be Trevor, Vinny, Jesse in that order. I think.
I'm just wondering though, like if ever a combination of the 2 are in the bottom 2, the judges will probably decide based on the night.
Well, if it's like Vinny and Jesse, I think I would say Jesse no matter which of the 3 she's up against. Which of the 2?
That's an ironic twist. Wait, for next week? Is this for next week, Matthew? Because I saw the songs, but I haven't watched So You Think You Can Dance in a while.
Well, while that's going on, let's talk to someone who very likely could win. It's Gabby and Val.
Mm-hmm. I'm more afraid of her than I am of Charlie.
Really?
I am. Well, for one thing, the story about her being an ICU nurse during COVID. Oh, next week. Yay, Buble week. Like she talked about being an ICU nurse during the pandemic. That alone is a vote grab. And the dance was good too. Obviously not good enough for top of the leaderboard, but that was worth the votes. And then the Good Girls Go Bad tango was so great. Easily her best dance. First perfect score of the season, which means she's not winning. Well, the first real perfect score of the season.
Grace, your haterism is showing. You're biased towards my team.
It's my bias towards Bachelor Nation as a whole, but at least Gabby is good. So if Gabby wins, I won't be that angry. Even if Charlie wins, I won't be that angry. Like if if Vinny wins, or who else on your team? Who's the other one left on your team besides those three? Oh, Jordan. Yeah, I'll be okay if Jordan wins. Vinny's the only one on your team that would really upset me if they won.
I don't think Jordan's winning, though.
I don't think she is either.
Trevor and Emma up next. Fodder.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I found out they were going first after being in the bottom two last week, I was like, okay, he's going home. And then Selma withdrew. And then he came third in the dance-off. This was actually a good week for him, admittedly. I mean, he's lucky he got jazz because you can't screw a jazz dance up. And then, I mean, I would say he probably would have gone home, but the votes were combined from Monday night into Tuesday night. So for all we know, Joseph and Heidi could have been the bottom two on both nights. But then the jive to basket case, he was good. I didn't think he was great. The judges still point out some flaws, which is their job. Usually the week that Emma gets a cha-cha, they go, which is not next week. I don't see him making it to even like the top 6 or the top 7.
I think he goes the next three to go. Mm-hmm. Jesse, Vinny, and Trevor.
If he is in the bottom 2 next week, unless Vinny or Jesse like bomb hard, he's gone.
But let's talk about who is gone. Joseph and Daniela.
Yeah.
We already talked about them, I guess.
I do it my way.
Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on.
I love this song.
Holding back. Said shut up. And Daniela was like.
Oh, Daniela was amazing in this. But unfortunately, we don't vote for her. Well, I don't. I don't vote for the pros. But no, like the rumba was actually my favorite dance of his. I would have, though, liked more Joseph and less Danny. But I don't think that would. But I was kind of thinking that would never happen. The jazz dance, it was pretty much the same thing, and they actually got a lower score, or the cha-cha. I'm sorry, and they actually got a lower score. But those of you who are moaning about Daniela being eliminated, she's not in this for herself, and she won last season. She was not going to be upset about not winning this season.
And now the end is near. And so I feel it's funny that song ended up being a bit prophetic. The final curtain.
A little bit, but also a lot of people were surprised.
He did it his way, Grace.
I know he did it his way, and I'm happy he did do it his way. But his way, unfortunately, is now the highway. I was so upset about not getting another Fire Halloween Night number from Danny, but
life is a highway.
And I want to ride it all night long.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it all. Is it ride it or drive it?
The second time I'm going to drive it.
Whatever. Let's talk about Jordan and Brandon.
We all knew this was coming.
I got to be honest, not a good sign that it was used so early. This should be like the, your secret weapon used at certain,
maybe for her freestyle, but I don't think she's making it that far. Or maybe she'll like plug her new song if she has any. But no, the salsa, I love how confident she was, and I'm kind of happy that they weren't so trick heavy. Because I remember like Brandon's salsa with Jeannie Mai the first week of season 29, it was really, really heavy on tricks. But maybe, I don't know, Jordan's not nearly as tiny as Jeannie, so maybe she's harder to lift. I don't know. Derek saying it felt under rehearsed kind of felt like a crappy comment because they went from 1 dance a week to 3 this week, or 4, depending on the dance off, because they had to learn Lindy Hop, which she didn't have to do, and Hustle.
Do the hustle.
Yeah, if only that had been the song instead of Hot Stuff.
That song, I don't know why, it just makes me laugh every time I hear it. I think
No Air. The fact that she went to prom with her brother, though, isn't that kind of sad?
When she did No Air, did they use the Chris Brown vocals?
They used the track, so yeah.
I think What it sounded like Jordan's part, but someone like on like one of the singers did the Chris Brown part.
I don't know. Maybe the choreography for me seemed kind of repetitive. Like it was just the same movements, the same like 6 steps over and over and over again. I agree with Matthew though. Jordan is becoming a little bit forgettable. I mean, I almost forgot she was here, and I've loved her since she was on American Idol. So
Nah, Jordan's in that second group of 3. Her, Daniel, and
she's not going to win this like she won Idol.
He's not winning.
I don't know how far did she make it on Masked Dancer.
I'm surprised winning American Idol wasn't even her most memorable year. Like
I was too, but I mean, getting married is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, but so is winning like a national singing competition and launching.
Well, not anymore. It was back in her day, but
touche. But yeah.
And I mean, No Air for a long time was the best-selling single from any Idol contestant. It's not anymore. It's now number 3. But
what's number 2?
Stronger.
Number 1?
Home.
Philip Phillips?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
The funny thing is, he hates that song. Or he hated it then. All right, but let's talk about the winner of the season.
Hopefully not. But go ahead.
He's winning. Anytime it takes 2 to make a thing go right is brought into this universe, it is a good day.
All right. Well, tell me why.
Well, first off, the Foxtrot, when he talked about his daughter. Oh yeah, no. A lot of people keep thinking the show's rigged. I know I complained about Charlie being in the pimp spot twice. Wayne had the pimp spot this week too, although it didn't really matter because they had the dance marathon too. But no, the Foxtrot was beautiful. The posture could have used work, but I feel like he needed a peak. And then I said he needed a peak, and then It Takes 2 happened. And I was just like, yes, Wayne. That song is straight fire. The feet could have used a lot of work, but I have been waiting for him to be on the show for a long time. He's probably my favorite contestant we've had in a few years. And I have already threatened to throw a child's tantrum if he doesn't win. So just be prepared. But it's not going to happen because he is going to win. I mean, he got a perfect score. He got a standing ovation from Len. Like, what more do you need? Yeah, why are they in Cancun? Does like Wayne have a job there or something? A lot of people are worried about that. They're like, Whitney should be on a quest to winning, and why are they going to Cancun?
I would go to Cancun if I could. If you can go to Cancun, go to Cancun.
It just seems weird though. Like they're on the show. It's probably because like Wayne has a job or something there, but I guess we'll find out on the show because they're gonna show it, no doubt. So we'll find out on Monday night.
What's coming up next week, Grace?
Well, we didn't talk about the dance marathon, or we're just pretending it didn't happen.
Let's pretend it didn't happen.
Not even with the well, I do want to talk about the order though, briefly.
All right, go ahead.
So they were in, yeah, I figured it was for a job, but Wayne has like 500 of those, so I can't keep up. Anyway, so they had the couples were eliminated one by one. The first couple eliminated got 1 point. Second one got 2, etc. And then the prom king and queen got 11 points. So the first eliminated. So in order of elimination, we had Daniel, Vinny, Jordan, Joseph, Wayne. Wayne didn't even make it to round 2. And then onto the Lindy Hop, we had Gabby, Charlie, Trevor, because they fell, Heidi, Shangela, and our prom king and queen, Jesse and Alan. And a lot of people still think that was rigged so they would stay out of the bottom 2. They felt like maybe they're pushing for a Vinny and Trevor bottom 2. Obviously, that didn't work either. So clearly this show is not as manipulative as y'all think it is. If you want manipulative, go watch Big Brother. Adam watches it.
I do watch Big Brother. I auditioned for it a couple of times. You laugh, but I might be there in another year or 2, Grace.
I only auditioned for American Idol once, but I'm running out of time. So
if we were on the same season of Big Brother, sorry,
I wouldn't do it.
You would have to go first. I wouldn't trust you.
I wouldn't survive 1 minute in that house. I don't think.
Well, what's coming up? What's on the dish for Michael Bublé?
So anyway, Monday night, Selma withdrew from the show as we talked about. Bottom 2 on Tuesday night were Joseph and Heidi. Carrie Ann was the only one that voted to save Joseph, so Joseph is gone. Not a huge surprise. Personally, I didn't think it was. But next week, I am getting ready for sleep because it is Michael Bublé night.
Y'all a hater. You're a hater because I
His
love Michael
music
Bublé.
is so boring.
No, it's not. Have you not heard some of these? No, I refute that. It's
I'm
classy.
not the only one.
It's classy
He's
music.
also going to be a guest judge. So are they going to have 5 judges? Because 4 is already a crowd.
I don't know.
Anyway, we have an opening number to Sway with the Lady Pros choreographed by Jenna.
Make me sway. That's probably my least favorite of his songs.
We also have this season's Derek dance with Haley, and their dance is to Higher.
Is that a Michael Bublé song?
Apparently. And I think he's singing too. Anyway. And the couples dances, which are the only reason we really watch the show. Wayne and Whitney will perform a quick step to I Get a Kick Out of You.
Is that a Sinatra song?
Ain't that a kick in the head? I don't know. Charlie and Mark will perform a foxtrot to Fever.
Give me fever.
Yeah, we have 4 foxtrots this week.
The thing is, a lot of Michael Bublé's big songs are covers.
I know.
Feeling Good, Fever.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there. Heidi and Artem will perform a samba to It Had Better Be Tonight.
Okay.
Jesse and Alan will perform a salsa to Come Dance With Me.
Don't know that one. Keep going.
Trevor and Emma will perform a foxtrot to Come Fly With Me.
Isn't that a Sinatra song?
Yeah, let's fly away. Daniel and Britt will perform a foxtrot to Feeling Good.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me.
Funny thing is, there's a TikTok challenge with that song.
And I'm feeling.
But I mean, if Charlie had that, because Charlie has a lot of dance experience, she could pull out the turns. Anyway, all right.
Held it.
Vinny and Coco perform a cha-cha to Save the Last Dance for Me. Wouldn't it be ironic if they go home?
My dad loves that song.
Shangela and Gleb will perform a tango to Hollywood.
Where's Just Haven't Met You Yet? Is that on the list?
Not in here.
What?
They did that last season. Suni did that last season.
They're not doing that song. They're not doing It's a Beautiful Day.
I know.
I have heard some great covers of It's a Beautiful Day. Cartman especially. I don't know if you watched the video.
I didn't. There's 2 dances left, though. Jordan and Brandon will perform a foxtrot to You Make Me Feel So Young.
How are you missing the 2 biggest Michael Bublé songs?
I mean, they have to. We did Queen Night last year without Bohemian Rhapsody. Although that would be hard to do unless they did it as an opening number. Anyway, and Gabby and Val, this would also be ironic if they go home. We're doing a rumba to Home.
Yeah.
They're not going to go home, but
unpopular opinion, Michael Bublé would be a good American Idol judge.
I mean, he's been a mentor on all the other shows at this point. It's I don't know. I'm not really that crazy about Michael Bublé, and I know he and Derek are buddies, so there's probably a deal in the works.
Well, anything else?
I don't know who's cheering.
Someone's outside my window. Anything else from the week, Grace? Otherwise, anything else?
Well, Cheryl actually hinted, although Cheryl said on her podcast that this will likely be her last year as a dancer, but she's been saying that for a long time now. And some people are hinting that maybe she'll come back in another capacity. She'll be a judge. She'll be a host. She said she would like to be a host, although, can she replace Tyra, please? That would be great. Or replace Carrie Ann. I don't care which. I would say Derek, but I actually like him. But, I mean, at some point, Len's going to have to retire. And I don't really like that there's only 1 woman judge and 3 men, but who knows? All
right. Well, I can say that I'm Adam Samuel. Find me on Twitter at Adam Soapbox. And where can we find you, Grace?
Reality2_Grace on Twitter. And working towards my freedom because I'm almost done with my grad class. And almost done with parent-teacher conferences.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, guys. Until then.
I don't fall asleep.
Peace.